On October 21st, 2021, chaos ended after the film crew walked off. Ms. Hutchins and others were trying to rig, if you will, how they were going to keep filming.
Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, the 27-year-old armorer for the Hollywood film Rust, has been sentenced to 18 months in prison due to her involvement in the case surrounding the death of the film's cinematographer, Helena Hutchins. The tragic incident occurred in October 2021 when Alec Baldwin, the lead actor in the film, unintentionally fired a gun, resulting in the shooting and eventual death of Hutchins. The hearing, which took place on Monday, witnessed tearful family members and well-wishers giving testimonials that included calls for justice and a punishment that would instill greater accountability for safety on film sets. Gutierrez-Reed was found guilty by a jury in March of involuntary manslaughter in the tragic death of Hutchins. After being detained for over a month at a county jail near Santa Fe, prosecutors attributed the incident to Reed bringing live ammunition onto the set of Rust, despite it being explicitly prohibited, and for neglecting to adhere to fundamental gun safety procedures. The armorer was unsuccessful in her plea for a lesser sentencing, telling the judge she was not the monster that people have made her out to be and had tried to do her best on the set despite not having proper time, resources, and staffing. She further plans to appeal the judgment and sentence, defense attorney Jason Bowles said in an email. New Mexico Judge Mary Marlowe Sommer, who is also overseeing proceedings against Baldwin, said anything less than the maximum sentence would not be appropriate given that Gutierrez-Reed's recklessness amounted to a serious violent offense.
You were the armorer, the one that stood between a safe weapon and a weapon that could kill someone. You alone turned a safe weapon into a lethal weapon. But for you, Miss Hutchins would be alive, a husband would have his partner, and a little boy would have his mother. Please take her.
Special Prosecutor Carrie Morrissey strongly urged the judge to impose the maximum prison sentence on Gutierrez-Reed, aiming to limit any future eligibility for sentence reduction. Morrissey informed the judge on Monday that she had scrutinized nearly 200 phone calls made by Gutierrez-Reed from jail over the past month. She expressed her hope that there might be a moment when the defendant would acknowledge her role or show genuine remorse. The judge indicated that summary transcripts of Gutierrez-Reed's telephone conversations from jail weighed in the sentencing.
She and another are talking about how much of Hannah's life they could take up, and that this is messing up her modeling career. This is while she's incarcerated waiting for a sentence. Hannah says that people have accidents and people die. It's an unfortunate part of life, but it doesn't mean she should be in jail. A conditional discharge is not appropriate. And the second option of leaving you in the detention center would be giving you a pass you do not deserve. I did not hear you take accountability in your allocution.
However, Morrissey also stated that the moment has never come where she has taken the responsibility for her role in the death of Helena Hutchins.
Word remorse, a deep regret, coming from a sense of guilt for past wrongs. That's not you.
The incident took place when Baldwin, the lead actor and co-producer for Rust, pointed a gun at Hutchins during a rehearsal on a movie set when the revolver went off, killing Hutchins and wounding director Joel Souza. The court maintained that while the gun had been in the hands of Baldwin, he had no way of knowing it was a live gun with real rounds and not a prop gun. The armorer's job was to ensure that the gun was safe. Gutierrez-Reed was the one who loaded the live bullet in the gun that eventually took Hutchins' life. The actor has pleaded not guilty to a charge of involuntary manslaughter. He is scheduled for trial in July at a courthouse in Santa Fe. As Hutchins' agent, Craig Mizrahi spoke about the cinematographer's creativity and portrayed her as a rising star in Hollywood, Gutierrez-Reed became emotional. Mizrahi emphasized that it was a series of events that culminated in Hutchins' death, and he asserted that if the armorer had fulfilled her responsibilities, that chain of events would have been disrupted. Friends and family recalled Hutchins as courageous, tenacious, and compassionate. A bright beam of light who could have gone on to accomplish great things within the film industry.
I feel like she has gotten lost in the swarm of all of the finger pointing and blame in the aftermath of this completely preventable tragedy. The only way I have left to honor her is to do everything I can to make sure this never happens again and to try to make sure that the people responsible are held accountable. I've struggled to deal with this repeatedly being called an accident.
Los Angeles-based attorney Gloria Allred shared a statement from Hutchins' mother, Olga Solovey, expressing how her life had been irreversibly divided, with time serving only to extend her anguish. A video of a tearful Solovey, residing in Ukraine, was presented to the court. In her native language, Solovey conveyed, "It's the hardest thing to lose a child. There's no words to describe." The Ukrainian relatives of Hutchins are also pursuing damages from Baldwin related to the shooting. Allred affirmed after Monday's hearing that the family backs his criminal prosecution. With the developments that amounted to Gutierrez Reed's 18-month jail sentence, do you think stricter laws and penalties are required to avoid such tragic incidents completely? Tell us in the comments down below.